I'm depressed, Mike. Gary, it's been a somber, uptight day. Tell me about it, Gary. All I know, this is the vibe I'm getting right now from this episode of Gary. I'm passionate about Xbox. I love Xbox, as you know. I play my Xbox way more than I play my PS5. I'm an Xbox guy. I'm wearing the Xbox green. I'm an Xbox person, as you know. But I'm telling you right now, if I'm a platform warrior, if I'm one of these guys go, oh, Xbox sucks, PlayStation 5. If I'm one of those guys and I'm a PlayStation guy and I'm watching this show right now, I'm laughing my fucking head off. You are. This whole show is going to be like, oh, this highly anticipated game's probably going to be now, but maybe Banjo-Kazooie will come out. Like, we sound pathetic. We sound desperate, Mike. It's a tough situation. We desperately need a fucking win. I need a W on the board. We are taking L after L after L. This ain't the X-Cast, Mike. This is the fucking L-Cast. Don't worry. Now. There's next year, Gary. We'll be there next year.
I got Wilkin in the building. It's good to see you, fam.
Shit.
We here. I got an extraordinary guest. Facts, Wilkin. Wilkin, you free to talk your stuff on Di-RRec Gaming. Everybody here. I got my man Black Krillin in the building. And shout out to the Chit Chat community. Forgive me for last night because I had a lot going on in my mind. And I wasn't shouting a whole lot of people out. We were doing a lot of talking because we wanted to make a statement. You daggone right, Dallas is checking in, fam. I got the extraordinary, exuberant, exciting person in the building called Red Dead Panda. And she's here tonight, and she's not really a guest. This is home to her. Just like I was on their podcast today, with Elite Guru and my man, Ash Trey Gaming. I was right at home. And she's right at home. Got my man, the realest one down here at the bottom.
What it do?
Reason why? This is gonna be an Xbox show tonight. This is gonna be a class, so y'all get y'all chairs because it has to go down like this. So I'm gonna let Red Dead Panda kick it off. Red Dead Panda, you see the title. Next Gen Gaming doesn't begin until Next Gen games begin to be built on.
Yep.
We can't get to Next Gen if we don't have Next Gen engines. But I'm going to make it a mystery on what I'm really going to deep dive into. And I'm going to let y'all two get on some surface talk and represent a little bit. And then I thank y'all for having patience with me tonight. That's how it's going to go down. We in the building. This is Xbox all day. We speak this language and we shadow dropped. It is what it is. Red Dead Panda, I have a beautiful mic for you. I didn't even dip it in gold. As a matter of fact, I took it out of a golden nugget and I carved it out myself. I put a few diamonds in it for you. Really? I got you one made out of onyx stone just for you, man.
Onyx? I thought you were gonna say wood.
Nah, man, I ain't gonna do you like that, man. I got you an onyx stone, and I got this bad boy smelling like frankincense. You good, brother? You good right now?
I feel special.
I'm gonna keep Black Krillin's word up right now. It's Xbox. I think that's a good expression to represent right now, because this is all Xbox right now. Red Dead Panda, I just got a question, right?
Yep.
It's easy to shoot at Redfall right now. That's easy. But we're gonna get down underneath what we really see what's going on. It ain't just Redfall. Redfall is the scapegoat. So we're gonna get to it. But on the other hand, why is everybody tripping? Why we got people, spokesmen, who we know really don't speak our language? What we just previously heard was somebody who really doesn't even understand the true essence of the Xbox community. Everybody wants to talk. So, okay, people, like I said, we picking and choosing again. All right, so you won't have no problem with this show tonight. Red Dead Panda, please grab that mic. Let's go.
Throwing me under the bus a bit, I feel like. Just chucking me in the deep end. Hello,
You gotta
everyone.
swim. What's
Yeah,
up, Red Dead?
I'm good. How are you, Realist?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am good. I've just come off my show where Legal was a guest, and we had like Jen from Winter Central on there, and Ashtray and Elite, and all of that. And we were just having a really good time, you know.
Yeah, I
was a
checked in
messy
like
show.
this. Yeah, I checked in at like around the end. I looked on Twitter and saw that you guys had something set up. Came in at the end.
It was a good show. Oh, thanks, Ashtray. You're yeah.
But so Red Dead, those guys, like I watched the video. Who are they?
Which guys?
Those guys that he led off with. Who are they? The guy who needs a W, who's depressed. Who are they? Do you know?
No, I'm totally lost.
Okay, yeah, okay. So you didn't listen to the intro? I mean, the video's floating around Twitter.
That intro? Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so like the guy, he was saying,
Was that
as an
Paris?
Xbox fan, he's depressed. No, it wasn't Paris. It was a white guy.
I know
And,
the other guy, but Paris was a guest on it. Was that the one?
I don't-
Cast?
Okay, I'm asking you because I don't look when it comes to Xbox and Xbox so-called Xbox media. There are very few people that I listen to, and I know a real Xbox fan when I hear one, and those people aren't it. Like even when it comes to Paris, you know, like hey, you guys show him love. But once the guy said that Killer Instinct didn't have any impact in the fighting genre, then I knew that with me, his credibility is shot. And I know that he's a guy that shouldn't be representing Xbox or at least speaking on Xbox to Xbox fans. But I just want to know who that guy was because everything he said is just that it's like most of Xbox Twitter. I'm not gonna even lie. Like these Xbox fans that I see on Twitter, they don't know how to stand on their own. Like, okay, if you're not happy with Xbox, you're not happy with Xbox. And if you think that a win is only when you can get a first-party AAA release from the platform holder, then I guess all these consoles are full of L's.
Yeah.
Because we mainly get about 2 to 3. I mean, I guess you can count all those Pokemon games Nintendo drops. So Nintendo's around 5. PlayStation averages around 2 first-party drops. Xbox, for this generation, they're averaging 1 AAA release because they had none last year. But if you're an Xbox player and you're not on Game Pass, I just always have to question what are you doing? Because if you're in Game Pass, you got plenty of games to play, right? I still haven't beaten Atomic Heart or what's the little girl and her brother, A Plague's Tale, right?
Okay. Oh yeah.
They just dropped Ghostwire in there. Sure, it was out on PlayStation, but if you are an Xbox player, you didn't play that game.
Yeah.
Right? And if it's here now, how is it an L? Right? It's an L because Xbox honored their contracts. I'm trying to understand. And another thing, these people with Redfall. How is Redfall being at 30 going to be an L? Right? The only way it's an L if you need to defend it. Because I'm going to play the game, and it's not the only 30 frame game that's on the market. Would I rather it be at 60? Hell yeah. But it's not. So with it being at 30, am I going to sit around and complain about it or wait for the 60 frame update? Because it'd be one thing if Xbox didn't come out or Arcane didn't come out and say that they had a 60 frame patch in the works. Because what I think happened is that they tried, and as soon as they figured out it's not going to be ready at launch, let's go ahead and make an announcement. Because now you got people saying, oh, they have to explain this. Why would you explain game development to people who know nothing about game development? You know
Yeah.
what? We're gonna come out. We're gonna explain why we're having these challenges about getting this game at 60 before launch. I also know why they need to launch it in May, because if they don't launch it in May, then when?
They
Right?
can't launch it any
Starfield's
other time, yeah.
Starfield's got to come. Right? Forza Motorsport was due last year. It's coming. So at some point that game has to come out, and I think May is a good time for it. I mean, everybody has a Nintendo. Xbox fans have Nintendos, PlayStation, PC. We all have a Nintendo. It's our companion console. So Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom is not going to stop anything when it comes to Xbox or even PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to understand, like, I don't know. I might have to watch it because Red Dead, I'm going to call you RDP. You got one of the longest names.
You can just call me Panda.
Founder. Then I want to sing, right? But like I have to start watching these people because I notice like Xbox fans, they put so much stock into what so-called media has to say about Xbox. It's like if we like Xbox, it is what it is. We don't need them to validate us. And it seems like Xbox fans are always looking for validation, be it from media or ponies. And now media, one day they'll have to get down with Xbox. When Xbox starts to take market share and it no longer is profitable to take dumps on Xbox, then you'll see the media start to turn around. But ponies are never going to give Xbox their props. What are you about to say?
I was going to say, well, I feel like with Redfall, like basically there's so many people who just were disingenuous. They were like first they were trashing on the game because of how it looked and it was still in development and this was last year, right? And it was an alpha, like a screenshot of an alpha build of the game released and like, oh, I'm glad this isn't coming to us. It looks rubbish. And then when they found out the PlayStation 5 there was a version in the works for the PlayStation 5. It wasn't announced. No one knew about this game at the time. And then they were like upset that they had lost that game. And then IGN has that hideous game play reveal that they put on their channel of someone who clearly shouldn't have been playing the game to show it in that light, and then them turning around and going, yeah, well, it's ugly. And I'm like, I'm getting whiplash just from listening to you guys go back and forth and act hypocritical about every statement and then completely go and do a 180 the next week. But for me, like we were talking about it on my show, on the show that I share with other guys. Just for myself, like I, in my opinion, am not happy that Redfall is not launching with the 60 FPS mode. And that's just me because of how I choose to game. And I partly have Xbox to blame for that as well because they introduced 60 FPS mode. I was saying like part of it is also the Aaron Greenberg set the expectation back in like 2020 that they were prioritizing 60 FPS. That was one of their priorities. And then this game
Phil
is
said it too.
Without that. Yeah. And I feel like I specifically went out and bought a brand new TV in 2016 ready to go for the One X because I wanted 4K. So I got myself a 4K TV and it ran 4K 60. And then I was saying like my sister's TV broke. And then so I gave her my TV and then I bought myself a brand new TV for my Series X. But I wasn't planning on upgrading until there were more games available to take advantage of the feature set in the Series X. But I had to upgrade. So I got myself a LG C1 and I loved it. Like I love that thing. I play games at 60, I play games at 120 FPS mode, but because of that, because I've been spoiled by having that ability to play at 60 and 120, I can't play a game at 30 now. So for me, I won't be playing this day one. I'm going to have to wait for the patch because I feel motion sick playing games at 30 FPS now because of how much I have gotten so used to playing at 60 and 120 FPS on my Series X. And it's hard going and realizing that I'm going to have to sit there and not get to enjoy it with the other people who are going to play purely because I know that I'm going to have a really bad experience playing it at 30. I mean, I'm still going to load it up and have a look at what it looks like in quality, but that's all I'm going to do is load it up and then put it to the side. I still want to play it. I just know that for me, I can't. And there are people like that. There are people who are still going to play it at 30 FPS because it's on Game Pass. Kudos to them. Support the game. I want to support the game at launch. I just know I will not enjoy playing it at that frame rate. But it's also kind of just like sad. I want them to like launch a mode or have something like a Plague's Tale had with 40 FPS mode. If you had 120 FPS monitor, you could play at 40 FPS with VRR enabled, and it made a smoother experience. Well, I would like them to do that for this title instead. If they could do that and get that as a hard and fast at launch, I will play day one because it's still higher than 30 FPS, which I can't play it anymore. And I feel bad. I used to play at 30 FPS and I didn't mind it, but I've been
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you get sick before?
No. No, I didn't. But because I'm so used to it now, I can't go back. And because I play with VRR enabled all the time, any of the games that are at 60 FPS where they're not always locked, my screen mitigates that. And I've just gotten so used to it now that as soon as I see 30, I can just tell it immediately it's at 30. It looks juddery, and then I start feeling sick. And I'm just upset that is what's happened because I've been spoiled by it. But in saying that, I'm a console gamer at heart. I don't want to go out and buy a PC.
Most of the people talking aren't going to buy a PC.
Yeah, I don't want to choose to buy a PC. Like, choose if I want to play the game, experience the game at launch the way I want to experience it. People are like, just get a PC. I'm like, but I don't like gaming on PC. I choose the ease and use of gaming on console. The only time I use PC is for RTS games because that's me with a mouse and keyboard. That's how I like to play my RTS games. Other than that, I am not going to be playing games on PC predominantly. That's not where I choose to play. I like console. I've been a console gamer forever. I started with playing on the NES, then the 64, then the GameCube, then the OG Xbox, 360. I've got my Wii U. I've got my 3DS. I've got so many consoles. I got my Xbox One, 360, my Xbox One X. I've got a Series S. I've got a Series X. I like console gaming predominantly. Yes, I've got a computer, but that is not what I use my computer for predominantly. And as a gamer, for me, it is an L because I feel like they're not servicing their entire consumer base. That's what I was after. They just aren't doing that because like they're only servicing part of the consumer base because I choose to prefer to play at 60 or higher if possible. That's how I choose to game and that's how I choose to do it, but I'm kind of getting left out in this respect. I know that I should be able to play 30. It's just physically I can't. I can't play some flying games because I'll get motion sick. It's just how I am. Unfair.
Yeah, I understand with certain types of games. Like even like with a shooter, it's preferable to play at 60.
Yeah.
But 30 motion sickness. I mean, that's you. But for me, I prefer. I just prefer to play 60. But 30 never stopped me in the past. But if I did get motion sickness, then maybe I'd feel like you. But at the end of the day, I know that they're not going to delay the game. They can't delay the game.
They can't.
And I wouldn't. And if I ran Microsoft, I wouldn't delay the game for a mode either. We don't know when the later date is. We don't know if it's a week. We don't know if it's a month.
Yeah, the only delay. I mean, the only impact this is really going to have on the game is just it's not going to be as successful as it could be. I think it's still going to be a success. It's just not going to be as successful as it could be. That's the biggest thing.
I've been hearing a lot of people say that, and like, if that's the case, we shouldn't be hyping up Tears of the Kingdom. That's going to be a 30 frame game. 30 frames never stopped anything. 30 frames never stopped anything. Now I understand everybody's complaint that they promised us 60. Even Phil said that we're going to be playing at 60. The Series X and S line was predicated on performance, right? But if they can't do it by the time they want to launch it, then they're not going to be able to do it. Because the thing is, with a lot of these games, they all come out with a patch day one.
Yeah.
And then they're going to have a patch right after that one. Then there's another patch.
Yeah. Once I've got the patch, I'm going to play it. I'm going to enjoy it.
And so you said you want to see what it's about, right? So you play this game. It's 30 frames. In the back of your mind, you know it's a 30 frame game. You're playing it and you have no motion sickness and it doesn't feel bad at 30. You still gonna just do it on your principle? You're still gonna back out of playing the game on principle because you know it's at 30?
No, it's not. It's not principle. Like I have ADHD, so I get easily distracted by things, and because I get distracted by 30, and because I know it causes me to feel motion sick, I will end up going into a bit of a spiral on that. So I'll load it up, have a look, and then that's it. Because every time I load up a game, I have to switch it to 60 now. Have to. Anything higher than 30, as long as there's an option higher than 30, I have to. I just can't. It literally makes me feel like I am. I don't know how. Like a.
I mean, I know some games. Some games are jittery.
Disorientated. At 30. Yeah.
Some games are jittery and they don't hit a solid 30, right? Let alone 60. So I understand like the jitters. I understand like the whole motion sickness feeling. I'm like, man, I can't remember what game that was, but it was just jittery. And I was like, man, this feels like I'm playing VR or something.
Cyberpunk was the first one that I really felt it on when I played it on the Series X. Yeah, I couldn't. And I know that game was a bit of a. It was a hot mess when it launched. So
you had issues on the Series X.
With
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, playing at 30 on the Series X, I had to switch to 60 immediately. I just couldn't. It was
Okay. So you tried it. I didn't even try it. That's
I
what
did
I'm
try
saying.
it at 30. I try every game at 30 if I know that there's a different mode. I want to see what the games look like in every single mode because I'm curious. And then I look at it, I'm like, okay, this is how pretty it looks. But I know for myself.
So you want to look at the graphical fidelity.
Yeah. It's the graphical fidelity. I just want to see what the quality is at that, like what I could be experiencing if I could play it like that. But then I immediately switched to 60 because I just know I can't. And I'm not saying like it's bad for anyone else who plays at 30. Kudos to them. I wish I could play at 30. That's the issue. Is like I really wish I could because then I could experience this day one like properly and enjoy playing it with people. Just physically speaking, I can't, and that's sad. I've been spoiled because going back to that from 120 and back to that is very jarring. And then I just noticed I was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Yeah. But I'm excited for this game. I want this game to do well. I want to play this game. And I'm going to look forward to the patch. I don't think the patch is, I think they're going to prioritize it. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that they're going to push. I also think that part of the some of the changes that they've made in relation to the feedback they've been hearing about Redfall has meant that they've had to change some of their priorities. And I think part of that was 60 FPS was put to the side to enable changes to some of the things they first had before they ported it over to UE4. And so there's some things that they're having trouble with in the development stages. But they're going to fix it at the end of the day, and I'm going to be able to play it. I'm just kind of gutted. I'm not going to be playing it at day one with all my friends who I know will be playing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it, but like I said, if it feels wrong, then I won't continue to play it. But I just got a question for you, like, 'cause I know a lot of Xbox fans became Bethesda fans once Xbox bought them.
Nah.
When is Arcane missed?
I've never really played a lot of Arcane games.
Okay, so I'll tell you, Arcane doesn't miss, and that's why I'm excited. And 30 frames won't stop me from playing this game. It's not my preference. And then I understand people complaining, but I just don't understand the histrionics, the extras, right? I want to sell my Xbox. This is an L for Xbox.
I don't understand. Like, for me, as an individual, this is my choice of how I choose to play because of that. But my choice shouldn't impact anyone else's ability to play the game the way they want to experience it. I guess part of that is also looking at it and going, I guess they set an expectation, and so I expected a 60 FPS mode. So I was disappointed in that respect, and I was let down by having my expectations going, they're going to follow through on that. And they
I don't think anybody's happy that they didn't come through on 60.
Yeah.
But my thing is, we've been playing 30 frame games. Now you say now you're getting motion sickness, so that's different. But we've been playing 30 frame games, and now all of a sudden console players are 60 frames, give me 60 frames of death, and I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
because
yeah.
because if you guys were about 60 frames on console, we should be playing on PC, right? Because that's pretty much new to console, and I understand that marketing and executive talk, they're going to push the console. I also understand this much about game development, that there are dates that needs to be hit, right? They need to hit these dates. They have to have one game out here, another game here. The one of the leaders, I don't know what his position is, but Booty said that they have too many games and they have to figure out where to put these games. Now I know that they can't delay this game just for a mode.
No,
And I understand if these guys that say they don't want to play, including yourself, you're a gal,
the
but
game's not broken, right?
no,
If it
it's
was
not broken.
broken, delay the game, and that's the
It's
thing. Like,
not,
for me,
yeah.
a broken game should be delayed. It's not broken. It's just going to be. It's not going to be what I'd say like a full game in the sense of there is going to be a
Well, it's a full game.
optimization mode.
You can
in
get
this
you can
thing.
get to the
That's all.
end. You can complete the game. But
Yeah.
the thing is that game's got to come out, and they're not gonna push it back for a mode. And the people that are complaining, what we as quote unquote hardcore gamers fail to realize, the majority of gamers don't care. They're not watching Digital Foundry.
No, they're not.
They're just playing games. So you have X amount, 30
Casuals
million.
aren't noticing
You have
the
30
difference
million
between
Game
the two.
Pass subscribers, right? And they say the growth is on PC. So they're already there. They don't care about whether it's 60 or not. So the success of the game is not directly tied to how many people go out and buy the game. That's
No.
why I say that it's not going to be a problem that it's at 30 as far as the game's legs. But depending on how long 60, that'll be how long 30 takes. That'll be how long people complain and continue to muddy the waters when it comes to conversations around this game. But I'm gonna play it, and if it doesn't feel right, I'm not gonna continue to play it.
I
But I
appreciate
don't.
you guys.
But I can't remember a time that Arcane has missed. I play Arcane games,
Well,
and that's why I said that I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, well, I want to load it up and have a look. I just think it's interesting that people are talking about Arcane and then bringing up Deathloop, and I'm like, but that was a different team doing Deathloop. It's a different team doing this. It is a smaller team doing this. But I guess for me, like MS game or Microsoft games, all their multiplayer games, it generally have allowed for like an option for like 60 for the most part when you're playing with other people. And this does have a co-op component in there, in that respect, where you get to play with 3 other people can be in your party, and so that would be nice for that. And you know that they're going to have all the physics and everything and all the lovely pretty stuff that they put into a game when you're using all your skills and such. Yeah, I'm sad about that. I really wish it was, but it's not going to, I guess, at the end of the day, stop me from playing the game. And for those who are acting like the sky is falling, seriously grow up.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what Twitter. But that's what Twitter is for, though.
For me. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't go to Twitter for real dialogue and conversation. They go there and they put out something, hoping they get a lot of likes, and then if the opposite side wants to sully them, then they'll jump on and give them likes. It's not a real conversation. But when it comes to like you got a real issue. Like that was the first time I heard 30 gives me motion sickness. I wouldn't say, come on, man, get over it. But also, I'm not going to tell you to get over it anyway, because if that's not what, as a paying customer, and if you don't want to play at 30, don't play at 30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it never bothered me before, so I'm not going to let it stop me now, especially when they've already got out in front of it to say that it will come at a later date, just not at launch. We just need to know when, I guess, the projected, or I'd like to know when the projected time is that they'll get it together.
I think you guys hit on some subjects that were really good for this, for the start open the topic of where I'm fixing to go with this, man. Because I'm fixing to go straight deep diving into this, man. My problem now that we had a day to cry, right? On Twitter.
Yeah.
We had our day to cry. That's it. You get 24 hours of mourning with me, and then we're gonna get down to the real McCoy. We're gonna get down to the real McCoy. And the real McCoy ain't 30 frames per second. The real McCoy ain't second-class citizens. The real McCoy isn't the game is messed up and the game is broken. The real McCoy is not any of those things, right? My thing is this. Who said the tone? Who said the tone was about being depressed? Who said that?
You put the video up. I don't know those clowns.
Let me remind people something. Next Gen doesn't, and this is a shame that I gotta say this, right? Because you got people with all this massive influence who can't even get their minds to think really on what's really the deal, right? So shout out to my man Cyber Gunner, Wilkin, Jago, Deploy, Mr. Kima, JyzalGamingTV, Garcia, Pyro, Shane G. Shouts to all of y'all up in here. Because tonight I'm fixing to go in. My man Judah Gaming's in the building. We here. They said there's a depression going on.
Nah.
Show me a real Xbox gamer that's depressed. There ain't one. The real Xbox gamer came out and expressed their feelings upon the 30 frames per second because they know the console that they got can do better. There wasn't no depression. There was work going on. It wasn't a depression. It was an expression going on. So the depression gave root to the level of stupidity on social media. Why? Because social media sells off of stupidity. If you are looking to go on Twitter to find honesty and truth, you might want to change your scenery. You might want to check yourself and your intellectual capability of understanding what social media really is about. Social media is the scapegoat for stupidity, right? We're going to sit up here in front and act like Xbox can't make errors and correct them. We're going to sit up here and act like all of a sudden what we heard was a permanent situation. We're going to sit up here and act like nothing's ever going to get fixed. Because let me tell y'all something. We had games to come out and it didn't suit the way we saw fit. But I didn't see nobody jump ship off these games. People kept playing those games. The worst one of all, right, was our own mascot, Master Chief. That game didn't come out nowhere near complete. But today it's in season 3. So that problem with that game wasn't even frame rates, right? So if we really want to talk about it, we really want to measure this stuff up, we really want to be truthful about it, so let's be truthful about it. Microsoft has the games coming out in 2023. PlayStation doesn't. That's the beginning of the first pain. They don't like the fact that Xbox has games. These same people don't have no energy for Xbox. They don't even know how to. The funny part is they don't even know how to be fake with it. They can't even fool you with fake energy about Xbox because they just don't. Xbox is just not in them. Who cares if you got a podcast show? That doesn't mean Xbox is in you. You use Xbox for propaganda. 2023, right? I got people. We got them saying stuff like, if Hellblade 2, right, doesn't come out this year, around, right, Redfall, Forza Motorsport, Minecraft Legends, and Starfield, that 2023 is going to be a failure. That's what we got influencers saying, right? But Hellblade 2 wasn't supposed to come out this year. So what are you talking about? All right. It's going to be, if it doesn't happen, then it's all messed up. It's a disaster. Who talks like that? People who don't play the Xbox games. So you mean to tell me that I'm supposed to ignore Hi-Fi Rush? I'm not supposed to enjoy that. I'm not supposed to, and these are the same people who were praising it. I'm not supposed to enjoy Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm not supposed to enjoy Redfall. I'm not supposed to enjoy Forza Motorsport. I'm not supposed to enjoy Hellblade. I'm not supposed to enjoy these games, right? Because I'm supposed to have a narrative. Hi-Fi Rush isn't a AAA game. And when did a AAA game guarantee fun? When? I thought gaming was based off of fun, right? So the narratives get changed. We can't brag about Hi-Fi Rush in games like High on Life, Pentiment, As Dust Falls, right? Them story-driven games that we get every now and then. Our console isn't based off those games. So who was catching L's? 2022, because of narrative, we didn't have our big AAA games, so that was an L. But As Dust Falls won an award on the Donkey Show. Pentiment won 6 Gotti Awards. High on Life was the first successful major third-party game on Game Pass. Outsold any game that was a third-party game on Game Pass. Hi-Fi Rush was the talk of the town across the whole world. And what does Sony have, right? We got to bring up Sony. Because didn't that guy say, if you was a Sony fan watching this show, but why would a damn Sony fan be on an Xbox show? I don't go to no PlayStation shows. I'm an Xbox guy. So why would a PlayStation guy be on an Xbox show if it's an Xbox show? You dig? So, what's really good, right? You got 5 months in for Xbox. See, the story been died because there's no more God of War. So as we turned the new year in, we was hyped. We had people already asking for dates. See, they fear Xbox. The key is we got to make sure we keep our eyes on Xbox. And my answer to that is, don't worry. Soon, everywhere you look, see, I said these things. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, when they mention gaming, they're going to have to say Xbox. Everybody that's been around me know I've been saying that for 2.5 years. So don't worry about trying to jump the gun on them, or I think I can catch them slipping. So get ready. I'm going to start the engine up by asking, where are all the games at? Where are the dates at? We want dates. But you're not saying that for Sony. You guys started the narrative of 2023. The narrative of 2023, you're going to die by that narrative. The narrative is, where are the dates at? Where are the games at? So we're going to keep it right there. You can't fool a real Xbox fan trying to come up and make 30 frames a second be the narrative. Doesn't work here. The narrative is where the game's at, where the date's at. The ringleader, Ryan McAfee, started that on January the 3rd. We didn't even get 5 days into the New Year's. And lo and behold, y'all know who popped up out of the bushes? Your boy Paris. The bushwhacker himself pops up out of the bushes. Don't do that, man. They'll be coming after you. Ain't nobody coming after Ryan McAfee, bro. That dude been a joke. He can't hold water in a brown paper bag. All that fake representing for Xbox over the years. This is clown work. But we going to get to it. See, y'all ain't used to this. Y'all used to the streets being quiet and y'all being goofy, like my man Rilla said. Y'all been goofy for so long, you ain't been checked. Then when you get checked, y'all want to run. There's no need to run it because you're going to run into a brick wall soon. Got to run into a brick wall. When you run into the brick wall, then y'all start making texts. Y'all start texting apologies on Twitter. Ain't nothing to apologize for. It's nothing to apologize for. Keeping it real doesn't ask for an apology. So now, y'all didn't even think that in that same month that y'all was asking for dates, you was putting pressure on Xbox, we had a show. Who opened up their mouth? Y'all know who opened up their mouth. The same usual suspect opened up his mouth trying to tell the Xbox community, the real Xbox community, right? Not to be excited. Who the hell are you to tell somebody not to be excited? Mr. Opinion. That's Mr. Opinion. I got an opinion and people get mad at my opinions. Okay. Well, you on social media. You on social media addressing your opinions. So, Mr. Opinion, who told you to tell the real Xbox fans not to be excited over an Xbox show? We get excited over Xbox shows because Xbox is interesting to us. Don't tell us, it's only going to be 4 games. Don't expect anything more than that. Don't get hyped. And then what happened? It was 5 games on that show, wasn't it, Mr. Opinion? And what ended up happening? A whole lot of hype happened after that. You see where you was wrong at for opening up your mouth? Okay, let's keep going. We had someone on the show last year. We asked a simple question. What is your most anticipated game? That person said Spider-Man 2. You asking Microsoft for dates and games. I'm going to let y'all know how stupid this is. My man Rillis in 2022 told me, legal, what Microsoft needs to do is just delay all these games and put them in 2023 and find a good time and date of separation for them. Because 2022 just needs to go on and fade out with the games that they have, because if not, it's going to be a cluster. He was right. A common gamer, not somebody with a podcast, not somebody with 150,000 followers, but a common gamer knew this. Because gaming isn't a PhD class. You don't need to have a doctor's degree to understand gaming, right? Especially once you've been out here as long as we have, right? It's kind of common sense. So I said, all right, realist, 2023 it is then. Because if, right, you got checked on Twitter for trying to bring that stupid smoke, and somebody had to tell you, well, what about Sony? Because they delayed all their games. And then they put them in 2022. So why come Xbox can't do it? Now, Xbox can't do it because Xbox got to stay to the narrative that we put out there. See, that the Xbox community, as long as they stay in our narratives, we good with them. So we make up the narratives, they stay there. That's how this works. If they ever get out of the narrative, then we got to address them. And we got to bring our followers in just in case they make some strong points. And we got to belittle them and keep them right where we have them. Well, those days is over because people are talking. People are calling you out. It's their opinion. Calling the show out. It's their opinion. If they say the show sucks, I don't care. Because there's people out there that say Di-RRec Gaming sucks. That's just part of the territory. But one thing Di-RRec Gaming don't do I don't look myself in the mirror and say, guess what, legal? I'm going to lie today. And I'm going to lie to thousands of people. That ain't what I do. I don't get a kick out of that. So as we move forward, we get the first ray tracing racer, real-time weather effects, rec effects, the actual scratches on paint, the weather affects the streets. We got real shadowing. We got real time. We got all these real events in a simulated racer, and we broke history. Got something to be hyped about. See, the reason why you can talk about Xbox, because Xbox has something to really talk about. Y'all really want to know what PlayStation fans talk about on their podcast? You guessed it.
Xbox.
Thank you. You guessed it. Xbox. You know why? Because Xbox is exciting. They remind us every day just how boring it is on PlayStation. So let's add up the L's. See, let's add up the real L's. Returnal, L. Babylon Falls, L. Destructive All-Stars, L. Seafood, L. Astrobot, L. Yep, I ain't leaving out Ratchet and Clank. L. Forspoken. That's not even an L. That's dead. That's right. L's. You want to hear real L's? That's L's. That's L's, L's, L's. I'm going to keep going. We're not done with the L's, y'all. What else did they drop that they don't want to talk about, right? Because one of them was a damn, I didn't even get to it. Look, a normal common gamer knows what a real L looks like. PSVR 2 died at birth. It was what they call it, a stillbirth. They had one of the guys we mentioned tonight trying to push that lie. Oh, PlayStation VR 2, I think it's my favorite thing. Then gets right up on a podcast and admits to never, ever experiencing VR.
Never played it, never enjoyed it.
Never played VR in his life. You see the problem, people? Do you see the problem, people? Let's keep it moving. I got another one. We had Jeff Keighley out here, right? Calling the PlayStation DualSense Pro controller for $200. That big fat piece of shit ass controller, right? He called it premium. He got up on Twitter and lied. He told a straight ass lie. He called it premium. Now we all know what premium means. Premium sure don't mean that the product that's premium doesn't last longer than the product before it. How the hell is that premium then? It can't even last longer than the first one. How is that premium? L. Okay. This is why those dumbass narratives don't work over here. We know what an L looks like. We knew that y'all was just waiting on Xbox to slip up. You know what else is an L? Spider-Man 2. Well, legal, how you gonna say that? It ain't even came out yet. Well, what major game do you know outside of Spider-Man that hits harder than Spider-Man. Because see, Uncharted is dead. Where's that at?
They canceled that. They said they're not making it anymore.
Y'all ready for another L? So y'all thought I was done with L's. Panda, realist, chit chat community. They thought I was done with L's. Y'all ready for another L? Here it comes.
I don't think they're even ready for another L.
Ready? Here it comes. And I'm just keeping it a trillion. Here it comes. Where's the Last of Us multiplayer at? L.
2024, man. It's gonna be the best you ever seen.
Right. But see, always easy to keep Xbox in your mouth when you have these fake influencers. So it makes this mirage, right? It draws this illusion for Microsoft's Xbox brand that Xbox is messing up. When in reality, Xbox is the only one that showed itself approved in 2023. They're trying, and they're winning in court. That's the other L. While I was being comedic with that.
That's the L.
That's the L, and they're getting a W in court. Now, who's obtaining L's? See, if you're going to make a statement, at least make sense. Don't come from a place of hurt, because guys like us, these great sharks out here, we sense that. And man, the worst thing you can do is come out and start talking when you know damn well you don't know what you're talking about. See, when you start talking on the base of your platform, that's one thing. You got all the God-given right to talk about anything on your platform. But see, when you negate the fact that there's a culture that you're speaking on, that means you can't just come in a culture and start saying things and we don't fact check it. See, gaming is a culture. You can't just come up in here and turn the tune with narratives. The narratives got to actually be real things. Tarkulus, appreciate it. Red Dead Panda, W Panel, Realist Strive is calling. All these
Ray kicked my ass.
All these
Yeah.
L's, man. All these L's. Now, I mentioned real L's. All right? So we're going to compare, right? Oh, we're going to compare. All right. I've already admitted that, hey, the Redfall 30 frames per second is a disappointment. I've made a post about it. All right? But if we're going to really talk about L's, I bet you them dudes didn't even realize what the game is, and they even went to go see the game. They don't even know the name of the genre of the game. See, the name of the drama of the game is it's a first-person shooter, open world, action adventure, non-linear game. That's Redfall. Microsoft is putting out something that we ain't experienced before. They're trying to put out something that we've never experienced for online only. But yet, Sony can't give you a multiplayer game. They struggling with a multiplayer game while Xbox is struggling with a real situation. Online only, 4-player co-op, open world, non-linear game. If you ask me, damn it, that's impossible to even do on PlayStation. That's impossible. And if you put a game like that, hint, hint, lawbreakers, right? It's destined to die.
Now that's an L, bro.
That's an L. At least if you're going to come out in public, right? Makes sense. Because I've always said that's one damn thing that I never understood about donkeys. And you know what was funny? Homeboy was trying to justify himself as an Xbox fan by what he had on.
He didn't even have Xbox Green on.
Facts. That's an L.
He said, I got my Xbox Green on. I was like, what?
Xbox Green on. That wasn't no Xbox Green. He didn't even know that. That was an L. Tarkulus again. Redfall. Starfield. Wolong. Hi-Fi Rush versus Spider-Man 2.
Bro, I just noticed he gave a super chat to call me out. Yeah, he did me so dirty, bro.
You want to know what's funny about that list you just said, Tarkulus? We seen those games. We ain't even seen a thing of Spider-Man 2. And you want to know something? They're going to remain quiet about it. You know why they're going to remain quiet about it? Because they got their hands out. Yeah. What? You know what's funny, Securo? Did you hear Cliffy today? He said, damn. He said, the same people that were bashing my game are now wanting to praise it because I mentioned it. He said, man, this social media stuff is weird. But the problem is, Cliffy, you late. It's been weird.
But he was so rude to the community anyway. The people
Yeah,
who put him
that's
there.
what I was gonna say too.
Because that's what the issue was.
That's my dude, though. Cliffy messed himself up, but he had to learn.
Look, it's only weird because it's not on his side. Yeah. Like, he had to apologize. I played it wrong. He said he didn't have enough money to bring his game, but although he didn't have enough money, he made it seem like Xbox wasn't even worth bringing the game to.
Exactly.
And so at that point, I'm like, you know what, Cliffy, that game deserved to flop. I understand they have the biggest fan base or the biggest console base, but that is where multiplayer games, not named COD, FIFA, or the mainstream multiplayer games, that's the place where they all go to die. Like, they don't even support their own games that are not mainstream. You know, you had Destruction All Stars. If that game was on Xbox, we would have been playing it. I got people challenging me to go play that little kart game that looks like Mario Kart. You know what I mean? We play multiplayer games out here, and we play outside the box. Look at Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves would have died a month after it dropped on PlayStation.
Do you know that little racing car is one of the largest races in the world?
Babylon Fall. Yeah, that was
stars. Continue.
But Destruction All Stars wasn't even a bad game. It's just bad because you have to play robots.
It was what, $70 at launch, and then it didn't do very well, and then they put it into they
wanted to charge for it, but it was in the service day one.
Yeah, they put it into the service, but they were initially going to charge full price for that game at launch.
Somebody thought better.
Yeah, people called them out for it.
But that goes back into what Legal was saying earlier. It's about fun.
Give me that link, brother.
It's not always about, how the graphics look or this or that. It's about fun.
I mean,
play the game.
Vampire Survivors.
That's right.
The graphics in that game,
bro. They've been making fun of us for enjoying that game.
That game is so fun.
Put that MP game on that console. No one plays MP. Exactly.
I love Vampire Survivors.
So
I just got the DLC today.
I'm about to pick up the DLC.
Where's the hell at for Microsoft? And a frame rate?
Look, when you play in a console war, right, and you're outnumbered, you got to move like assassins, right? I'm watching the Seven Kings, right? The Seven Kingdoms, Uhtred, son of Uhtred, Lord of Bebenberg. That's what I'm watching. Whatever the name of the movie is that just came out, that's what I'm watching. And when Uhtred, the name of is it called the Seven Kingdoms? All right, so when it came time for them to go and get to Ethelred or whatever his name is, right? When it came time, he had 3 guys. He said, we can't take him by ourselves. He said, we don't need to take him. We just need to get to him.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with in this console war, we already know Xbox sold anywhere between 40, 50 million, right? PlayStation sold 120 million. So when we get into the social media, you're not going to go win a numbers game over there. But you gotta think with your head, because what I notice is these people, they say what they think will get a pony stamp of approval. Mm-hmm. They won't stand on it on their own 2 feet. They won't say that I love my Xbox, I'm having fun on it, I don't understand what you're talking about. But exclusives, I never played only exclusives. Not since the 90s have consoles been, because I think I was on Spaces with a guy, Dr. Mindbender. Finally I found somebody that had a Neo Geo as a child. When the Neo Geo came out, only thing on that was SNK games that I can remember. So since the 80s, 90s, we've been on third party games because first party was Nintendo and Sega. They couldn't satiate the entire audience, right? You would have left gaming if you only had to wait for Sega or Nintendo to make a game. So now we're talking about exclusives. And so 2022 is gone. We're in 2023. So far, Microsoft has hit us with what? They're not exclusives, but they're first party. And I noticed that Phil had to kind of change his verbiage with a lot of the ways that he introduces games because they can't all be exclusive. But as long as they're first party, you're on Xbox, you should be in Game Pass. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you. These games are hitting Game Pass. You got Minecraft about to hit Game Pass, right? They just announced recently that we got a date on what's that game, man? Flintlock, right? Flintlock's coming right behind Redfall.
Ravenclaw, not Raven, whatever. It's not the actual Flintlock game. It's a different one. Yeah.
Oh, dang. Well, that's messed up. I wanted to play the Flintlock game, the one that I saw in the show.
Yeah.
But I'll have to check it out. But there's so many games to play on Xbox. Wolong. We playing Wolong. You know, I mentioned some games earlier. And if you're on Xbox, you got plenty of games and you're not paying $60-$70 per drop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, now I can't understand how it's an L and what's depressing if you're playing games. My thing is, if you're playing Twitter instead of games, then yeah, you're taking L's because you're always going to be outnumbered on social media.
For me,
what do you guys say?
As a gamer, for me, in respect, like I think it's not a good look that it's not launching at that frame. For me.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
Our community itself can call it out, and we're fine to do that. We don't need other people to call it out because they don't even call out and hold Sony to account in their own community. Why do they have to think that it's okay to try and hold Xbox's community and Xbox to account when they're not even part of that community? They're just so disingenuous.
Well, because we even acknowledge them, Red Dead. Yeah. We acknowledge them. We give them a voice. When you hear bullcrap, you don't even need to rebut it because it's bullcrap. It's just to get a response out of you. Mm-hmm. And then eventually people start to buy into bullcrap, and you get comments like what that guy said. He's depressed. Come on, man. You're not playing games if you're depressed. It's too many games. I got more games that I can stand. I'm trying to beat games, hoping they don't leave the service first. So these guys that say that have a complaint about Xbox, they're not playing games.
Complain about the $1 Game Pass option leaving, like go do something else. Go outside and touch grass. Go play Twitter. That's the favorite thing you want to play. Like the people who are subscribed to Game Pass don't care that the dollar deal's leaving. We're already invested.
I want to show.
Like we're already enjoying it. I guess for us as a community, we can call out Xbox, and they're listening to us. They don't need to listen to the fake outrage gamers saying like the sky is falling. They're making changes, like I said on the other show before. We're getting a fixed home dashboard now because the people who are previewing the builds of Xbox's dashboard have been putting feedback through. I myself being one of them, saying that like the tiles are too big. You can't see your background. They've taken away all the preview versions of the home screen off all of us to say, we've heard your feedback. We're going to bring it back with what you guys expect and what you guys want. So they're listening to us as a community, and it's us who are driving that. We need to be holding them to account and telling them what we want to expect as gamers and what we want them to deliver. It's really frustrating with the other side that is really noisy, telling us what we should feel. And I'm like, no, I feel how I feel because I choose to game that I choose to engage with Xbox on the level I choose to engage with them. I play the games that I want to play regardless of the platform because I choose to game how I want. I don't need anyone else telling me how I should game. Yeah. Everyone went quiet.
No, unfortunately.
Mute the button or what?
No, man, my kids are trying to get me to go set up the VR. So man, I'm doing a show. But anyway, yeah, Xbox should listen. But why y'all care? Well, hey, look, why y'all care so much? Look, well, why do y'all care so much about your background? Y'all playing dashboard? Like I hear people complaining about tiles and this and that. It's like, man, I see tweets getting hundreds and
It's
thousands
the
of
culture,
likes.
Willis. It's the culture.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like y'all play dashboard. I never boot up my
Like
console
I like
thinking about my background.
I'm the same with my PC though, like in the sense of I will put up the game that I really like playing. Like I love Mass Effect, so I always try and take a really nice screenshot of Mass Effect and then put it up in lots of backgrounds and stuff. And I try and put that up on my Xbox. But the stuff that I really want in the center screen, which is where your for the shot, is missing. Because I like to be like, I like that game and I like to see it every time I turn my console. That's what I want to see, but it's taken up by other real estate. So I'm just kind of glad that they are making those slight changes and listening to the community that way. But that's just an example of them listening to the community.
No, I'm
There's
just laughing because like we were talking about this before on Tech Show,
Yeah.
like like people talk about the dashboards comparing PlayStation versus Xbox, and
Oh, I'm
like
not comparing
no, like I don't even know how to do everything on the Xbox dashboard is why I'm laughing. Like probably few months back, I figured out that there's a quick resume menu and I can see all the games that I have set in quick resume because I just go, yeah, now that I know it's there, it's cool. But before, man, it didn't bother me. But I noticed, man, so many people, they say, you know, I think it's like people like Jazz, they'll bring up the dashboard. So it's like, what is it? What do y'all do on there? Like, do y'all just admire a picture? Like, cause I have the one with Master Chief, the dynamic background.
Yeah.
It was cool when I first had it, and then I just go where I need to go now. I don't look at it
I've got
anymore.
the Xbox 20-year one.
Yeah, that's tight too.
Yeah. But part of that is covered up. But like Ashtray's like, what about the guys that don't call Xbox out?
Facts.
For those
Well,
who
that
don't
who
call
does
it
it?
out?
Who does it?
But there are those who are absolutely the opposite end and think Xbox can do no wrong. If Xbox did no wrong, then we wouldn't have the Xbox that we have today. We wouldn't have the Series X generation because, like, when you look at it from what happened with the 360, thriving off the 360, they dropped the ball on Xbox One's generation. They've picked it up again on the Series X side of it, and it's people who just aren't calling that out. If you don't call out the issues, they're never going to fix it. People need to be calling out PlayStation because look at their generation. They went from a really good generation on the PS4 to the PS5. We're all looking at it and going, shit, I'm glad I didn't invest in that myself.
But like, okay, you got people that you say don't call them out. So I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, it seems like some people are just happy, right? They're just happy playing the games that they have. Like, what's your complaint? May not be their complaints, and I think that like if somebody is
true.
happy, like even when quote unquote Xbox had no games, like I'm kind of new to all this. I'm new to all this social media stuff. Like going on 4 years that I've. So when I joined and they were saying Xbox has no games, I'm like I'm playing games though. But come to find out, it meant and I didn't know that the Connect sucked because like my family we love the Connect, and I had to learn that it sucked, right? And I had to choose to believe it or not. So when you have a person that was like me, like I knew that there was Halo, there was Gears, and there was Forza, and then they had State of Decay. I enjoyed all those games during the one generation. I didn't know that there was an issue. So what am I to call out? So we should not be trying to impress that, hey, you shouldn't complain or the other person shouldn't complain because some people are just happy. And if you're happy, just ignore the people that are unhappy because those people will have a group as well as the people that are happy having a group.
Everyone's gaming experience is different. Like for me, I enjoyed the Kinect. I was just disappointed at launch that because it was bundled in last gen, a lot of the language wasn't available. Like a lot of the features for Kinect wasn't available at launch, and then a lot of the games there wasn't a lot of support for it. Like if there was, I would have thoroughly loved and continued using it throughout the generation, but it just wasn't supported in that respect. Yeah. So it's kind of sad.
But and then going forward now, like if you're an Xbox fan and you're not confident in Xbox, go buy a PlayStation. It's like they bought so many studios. They're in the process of buying a publisher. And if you're not confident in what Xbox has going forward, because I see like PlayStation fans, they'll say something like, well, Xbox, they're putting a stench on Minecraft, right? But Minecraft is a brand, and whether people like it or not, people are still going to play it, and then they'll decide. Because I know people that are like
Willis,
adults that I wouldn't think that played Minecraft Dungeons that like Minecraft Dungeons.
I love
What?
The
Minecraft
dumbest
Dungeons.
part about that is I don't like Minecraft on Xbox. I'm going to PlayStation where Minecraft is at. I don't like it. It's on PlayStation. I'm going to Nintendo where Minecraft is at. I'm going to give me a PC because I don't like Minecraft where Minecraft is at. You get where I'm going with this?
Somewhat.
Well, that's what made the whole Minecraft story today more funnier to
Oh,
me.
I'm not even talking about Twitter. I'm just talking about like what I saw late last night.
Minecraft children play Minecraft. Nobody even takes Minecraft that seriously for it to even be a talking point. Who cares what Metacritic score Minecraft with?
Someone's
nobody
gonna
cares.
play it.
Nobody cares about
enjoy it.
Metacritic.
Yeah, when it's something like Minecraft on all platforms, you have to laugh, man. Some things you just gotta laugh at. Like I'm saying, we're getting too goofy now. Because I think people are starting to revert back into thinking that we really care about your feelings, right? Y'all some grown adults out here want somebody to worry about how you're sensitive to something. I don't know what you think, but I'm not. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. There's too many games coming out, right? And I can pick which game I want to play. I don't care what you think. So you can get mad if I don't play Redfall. Well, be mad. That's my choice. You want to play it? Go play it. But I can go play something else.
I'm not going to play
Just
Doom.
like I
It's
can
not
go
my
play
game.
something else. Just like because the game is in Game Pass. That's what I subscribe to Game Pass for. Oh, you're not supporting the game. What are you talking about? I got Game Pass Ultimate. I'm already supporting the game, whether I want to support it or not. It's the service that I'm paying for. It's in that service. So therefore, you're supporting it. You're supporting it whether you're playing it or not.
Inadvertently.
You're inadvertently supporting the game. So good. If you want to run over to the PC and buy Xbox Game Pass, guess what, buddy? You're supporting Xbox. See, I don't care where people go and play their video games at. I only care where I play my video games at. I bought up my stuff for my pleasure of gameplay. I didn't do it thinking about what Realist was going to think about, what I was going to do when I hooked it up, or what Red Dead Panda was going to think about me, or the chit chat, or people on Twitter. Look, man, most of these folk on Twitter, they're just hot air. That's what it is. You spending too much time on Twitter, but you notice nobody's showing no gameplay. So it's just comedy. I treat it like comedy. I treat it as such until somebody just goes way beyond the mountains and say something stupid like Homeboy did today. That's going too far. Now we got to stop the brakes and put you in check. Now, we're real little. So we're just clout chasing down here. We're clout chasing. But one day, lo and behold, if a bigger channel comes up and slaps the shit out of y'all for being fake and phony, then what y'all gonna do? Somebody on your level starts calling you lame influencers out, then what are y'all gonna do? We know what you're gonna do. You're gonna tuck that tail and run. Because y'all are scared of Twitter. We done caught you apologizing. What y'all end up doing is apologizing on Twitter, man. Y'all don't like to face the masses. You just want to control the narratives. That's what y'all do. How you gonna have people who don't even play, who don't even put the time into your ecosystem to have a mic in their hand to address the crowd? That doesn't even make any sense. That's like having somebody who don't make music and you want to put them up on stage and they try to spit a song or play a tune in front of a big crowd. Come on, man. We've seen what America's Next, what American Idol is all about. Seen these people who believe they can sing. They can't hear themselves because they done told themselves they can sing. But it just sounds different to everybody else's ears. It's the same kind of clowns out here. For some reason, they done told themselves that they got it. I can say whatever I want to say because look at all these people. Look at all these folks that follow me. So that makes me creditable. So I'm going to come out here and say whatever I got to say. In their mind, they think what they're saying makes sense.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Till somebody really puts the paint out there. Xbox ain't catching no L's. Personal knowledge no better than that. We know where the L's are coming from. That's why y'all quiet on it. Not near one of y'all talking about Sony. We know why. You're not going to talk about Sony. We know why. So that's punk moves. I don't care how tough you want to talk. That's punk moves. We ain't caring about that. We don't care about anybody can say an opinion, and that's my opinion then. Accept it. That's punk move. All that blocking, punk moves. You on social media, you want to say dumb stuff, and then expect not to get that reward, that's a punk move. Now, I understand people that are chasing you down, acting silly and all that, but I don't do nothing like that. I don't be harassing people. I don't go up on a Twitter page, and every time they post something, I got something to say. Not that important to me. But I get them. I get them every day. You know? What would I do without them, though? If it wasn't for them, my day would be boring. I love them. I just mute their dumb asses. They ain't telling me nothing. They ain't gaming. So I just have fun throughout the day, y'all. So that's what I wanted to do tonight. Is come out here and address these so-called L's and move on, man. We did. I want to say thanks to the Red Dead Panda for being a guest tonight. Thank you for having me on your show too with the Elite Guru and Ashtray Gaming. Appreciate you. I met a wonderful lady called Jen tonight. Red Dead Panda, once again, I know it sounds like a broken record. Let them know where they can find you at.
First off, thank you for having me, and thank you, Realist. I always love talking about video games and all of that. So any opportunity, and it's good to hear everyone's perspectives and how I engage with gaming versus how Realist you might engage versus Legal how you might engage. We all are gamers at the end of the day, and we choose to game the way that we want to. But you can find me on Twitter, Red Dead Panda with a number 1 at the end. You can find me on Xbox, Red Dead Panda 871. I should actually align those up. And then I'm over on Elite Gaming Guru's channel every Friday, Saturday, because obviously time zone difference with me living in New Zealand. We have a show called the Gamers Initiative Podcast, and so that's with myself, Elite Gaming Guru, Ashtray Gaming, and then we had you on as a guest today, and it was so awesome having you on as a guest today, Legal. Really appreciate your time and your takes. Yeah, so thank you.
You're welcome. No problem. Anytime. Realist, let them know where they can find you at.
Man, they know they can find me. The Realist on Eli the Realist at Eli the Realist 1 on Twitter. But yeah, man, it's a good show. It's nice to I'm like Red Dead. I'm always down to talk about gaming. I like talking to real gamers. My man Tarkless, he used to be something else. But he knows, I mean, we're supposed to be having fun. And look, I'm not a PlayStation first gamer, but there's fun on all these consoles. There's fun to be had somewhere. So for us Xbox fans that can't sit back and just watch the bull crap from a distance, it's kind of disappointing to see that too. And it's been disappointing for years that Xbox has the wrong, talking heads representing them in media. That for that guy to say that he's what's the word he used? Depressed. As an Xbox fan, that's laughable. And I just don't understand. And then you have people that take that to heart. That's the problem. is that you have people that will allow someone else's words like his affect how they feel about their fun factor. But anytime, you guys want to talk about games and gaming, we don't have to agree on everything. I'm down for that because at the end of the day, we should all be having fun. We should all be playing these games. And a big issue that I see in this community is you have way more talkers than gamers. But shout out to the chat. Good Friday night show. And I'm out.
Hey, this has been the New Legal representing the X League podcast, the League of Extraordinaires, Red Dead Panda, the realest one, Chit Chat community. We love y'all. Hey, remember, always keep it gaming. Always keep it gaming. And I'll say that one more time. Always keep it gaming. Chase the one up in life and let nobody steal your extra man. Until next time, y'all be safe. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.